Hey guys, what's going on? All right, trying to get all situated here. This is the second YouTube live thing that I've done, so kind of get all situated, let everybody get into the chat room here and all that stuff. When you get in, say hello. Be sure to say hi. Hey, can you guys hear me? Okay. I got a new microphone, so I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. Thumbs up. Good. So I kind of wanted to chat today about the Apple events, new iPhones, new Apple Watches. I'm not going to lie, I was holding on for hope for a long time there that we would be getting some iPads and things like that. And overall, I was kind of, I don't want to say disappointed because it was a cool event. There was some cool stuff announced, but there wasn't anything for me. I have both an iPhone 10 already and an Apple Watch Series 3, and I just got this new leather band. It's actually really cheap on Amazon. It's not an official one. It's kind of nice. I don't remember what it's called or have a link or anything. I'll tweet about it later. Follow me on Twitter. I'll tweet about it later. But overall, there really wasn't that much for me. I come Friday when pre-orders happen, I'm not planning on pre-ordering anything unless I really talk myself into the iPhone XS Max. And I guess let's start there. So let's kind of break it down a little bit. So the iPhone 10 is no longer being sold. It's now the iPhone XS. There is the XS, the standard version, just like what the 10 size was, and now there's also the XS Max, which is a lot bigger screen. It's a 6.6 inch 6.6 inch OLED display, which is really impressive, and that's really big. And it looks like during the keynote they compared it to the standard like iPhone 7, 8 Plus phone, and it's about the same size. So that's overall pretty impressive. That's a lot more screen real estate. That's over an inch of screen real estate you gain with not giving up any physical size if you are already a Plus phone user, which that's pretty interesting. But the price tag that they come in at, I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look, but the maxed out 512 gig iPhone XS Max, which is a terrible name, by the way. I hate these naming conventions. I'm so ready for Apple to move on from the naming. But it comes in at almost $1,500, which that is a lot of money. So I don't personally use my phone as much as I used to. I used to drive around a lot more and have a job that took me around to different places, and frankly, I just don't do that as much anymore. So I don't think I'll be upgrading my iPhone every year, and this is kind of the first time that I can think of that I haven't upgraded my phone. I don't think I got the iPhone 4S. I think it was that one. Maybe it was the 5S. It was one of those S models. I didn't get that one, but I've pretty much always upgraded to every phone, and I don't really see myself upgrading to it this year. I'm curious what you guys think if you guys want to upgrade and what you're kind of coming from. I see this as a much bigger upgrade for people that don't have an iPhone 10 already. The big difference between if you already have an iPhone 10 and if you want the iPhone XS with despite screen size, it's just faster and a better camera, which, okay, that's great. That's always great to have those improvements, but I don't know if it's worth that price point right now. For me, I think an every other year upgrade would probably be fine for my iPhone. The Apple Watch has been something that I've been using more and more of lately. I got the LTE Apple Watch Series 3. You can kind of see the red dot there. I hate that red dot, by the way. I'm so glad they kind of got rid of that for the Ring. The Ring doesn't look great, but it's a lot better than having this blaring red dot that every time you look down on it looks like a sticker. So that's a little better. I would like to upgrade to the Series 4 Apple Watch, but they increased the price on it for the LTE model. The iPhones, somebody in the chat just said they have an iPhone 6S Plus. It's about time. Yes, I would agree. It is time. No matter what phone you pick, it's going to be a great improvement. It's going to be a huge jump from there. But for me, I've been working out a lot more, and when I've been going to the gym, all I take is my AirPods and my Apple Watch. And honestly, I kind of think that could be the new iPod, if you think about it. I stream all my music from the Apple Watch, and watchOS 5 that's coming out. I don't have the beta on, so I haven't really been paying attention. It's going to get podcast support, and apps like Overcast and stuff have already said they're going to come in and support it. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about having podcast support just straight off from LTE, not needing an iPhone. So I've been going to the gym. I've been trying to get a little more healthier and things like that. So my Apple Watch has been a huge improvement there. Overall, some cool stuff in there. I don't think I need the falling sensor. If you didn't watch the keynote, the new Apple Watch has basically a sensor that if you fall down, it'll detect that you fell down, and you can call from help. And if you don't respond within I think a minute or something like that, it'll call for help for you and stuff. So for older people, that might be nice, but I don't need that. I think it'd be a cool upgrade. Again, it's a lot of money. I don't see me upgrading to anything. I don't really review phones or anything, but if you guys really wanted somebody to do an iPhone XS Max review, wow, again, these names are terrible. I absolutely hate these names. If you guys wanted an iPhone XS Max review, tweet at me at Chris_Lawley, Lawley. Honestly, I think the only reason why I would pick one up right now is if I got a number of people that wanted me to do a review for it. I think that's the only way I would do it. Other than that, I'm kind of walking away from this one. I was really bummed we didn't get iPad stuff. This is probably what you guys are tuning in for, to kind of hear my comments on this. I was definitely holding out hope for iPad stuff this year, or this event, and I'm really disappointed we didn't get it. My thinking going into this event is this is going to be the iOS device event. This is going to be the iPhone event, the Apple Watch event. It would just make sense to put iPad Pros in there as well. There's definitely been enough rumors and enough stuff in iOS 12. I forgot what version of iOS is coming out. iOS 12. That definitely supports the fact that there's new iPads coming. So they're definitely coming, but it's probably going to be a 2nd October event, I'm guessing, which really doesn't make too much sense, because if you watch this event, there really wasn't that much going on. I mean, they had 3 different game demos. I actually walked away during the game demos, and when I was at work today, and when I did my job, because they were pointless. There was nothing exciting about those game demos. There was nothing really. It wasn't a jam-packed event. Like, if you look like prior iPhone events, like the iPhone event where the iPad Pro was announced, and I think it was alongside the iPhone 6 or 6S, something like that. Like, that was a packed event. But this event, it felt stretched out. They didn't even hit the 2-hour mark. I think it was only about an hour and 45 minutes. And normally every event is 2 hours on the dot. This event was very meh. So I'm not sure why they're holding the iPads, unless they're really not shipping at all this year and we're going to have to wait till spring. It's not like they ran out of time or anything. Maybe October they're wanting to do some sort of pro-focused event. That would be pretty interesting. I'd be pretty excited to see that. I see some people in the comments, like, ask me some questions, guys. That's kind of why I wanted to do this live video instead of just me recording something and editing it and making me look better than, stumbling all over my words and not knowing what version of iOS is running. I'm really interested in the fact that they're doing colors on the new iPhone XR. It bums me out that Apple thinks colors are something that goes on the lower line. I especially would love to see colors come to the higher end iPhones. I don't get that. I don't get why they don't want, like, if I could get an iPhone XS Max in blue, that would make my upgrade. I would probably be a little more excited about that, because I would like to have a blue phone. I don't put cases on my phone. I really just have never liked having a case on my phone. I've been really fortunate that I don't break devices and stuff like that. I'm very careful. But I'd love to have a blue phone, or like an orange, like a kind of like a bright orange. That would be kind of cool too. I don't get their whole philosophy about not doing colors on the high end. Now, I know the iPhone XR is using it has aluminum, and then the iPhone XS is what do you think about the names of the new iPhones? I just got a question there. The names of the new iPhones are absolutely terrible, and I cannot stand them. They're so hard to get straight. But what I was saying is the iPhone XS has a glass back and stainless steel side, which makes it a little bit harder to put color on that and stuff. I get that, but there's got to be a way. Like you got a gold one, you have a blackish one, and then you have a white one. Like you got to be able to do blue, you got to be able to do orange, you got to be able to do pink. Like I would love to see colors come to the whole end of the iPhone. I'm excited to see that Face ID is getting a lot faster. I think that's a really good step. I like Face ID over Touch ID because Touch ID just never really worked for me, right? I don't know if like there's something up with my hands or something, but it never really worked well for me. Face ID, I have a much better improvement rate, and I know everyone's kind of different with this, but Face ID is much improved, and the fact that it's faster in these new phones, that'd be great. Supposedly, the new iPads are going to have Face ID, so if they have the new version of Face ID, the one that's faster, that would be great. Like we can just skip the slow generation on the iPad altogether, go straight to the fast one. That'd be great because the way it's angled. Also, I guess we can talk a little bit about iPad rumors too while we're here. I don't know if you guys have seen, there's leaks of the iPad going around and that there's some weird port on the back. My theory is this is the smart connector. They're moving the smart connector to the back because they're making the new iPad bezel-less or minimizing the bezels, however the technical term you want to call it. I don't really know. And then on that side, I just got a question. Are you getting a new watch? Probably not. I answered that a little earlier. I'm probably not going to be buying anything. I'm really waiting for the iPads and seeing what comes out from the iPads, and then seeing how my bank account takes a hit. Because right now I'm still undecided on which iPad I'm going to get, and right now I may buy both and then just return which one I don't like. But the port on the back of the leaked iPad, the new upcoming iPad, I think it's the smart connector, and I think that smart connector is for a different style keyboard. I wouldn't be surprised if they have the same style of smart connector keyboard if you kind of look at it. In fact, I have mine right here. It kind of connects. I can't really get that there with the microphone in the way. I'm sorry. Anyways, it connects to the back, so a port could be right there. The smart connector could plug in there. Maybe it makes it thinner. The new iPad's a little bit thinner, so it just can't plug in on the bottom. That's great. But my other thought is, too, that the iPad as well could have some sort of laptop-style keyboard case, and it plugs in back there. And maybe this laptop-style, and this is all maybe, like, I don't know anything, I'm just guessing. Laptop-style keyboard, it's a little bit bigger, a little bit bulkier. Maybe it has a battery in the keyboard base because there would need to be some weight on the bottom to kind of balance everything out, so you get an extra battery. And this is like the Pro case. Like, it's a little bit heavier, but you get a little more out of it. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on iPads. Again, I was really holding out hope we would see them today. I'm really disappointed we didn't, but hopefully we see them in October. I really don't want to wait till the spring. Ask me some questions, guys. What do you guys think of the new iPhones? I'm really curious what everyone else thinks about it. I watched it with a couple of coworkers, but overall, the impression was people are really excited for them. If you don't have an iPhone 10, that's kind of what it seems like to me. If you have an iPhone 10, it's okay. It's a good upgrade, but I don't know if it's worth, $1,500 or whichever one you want to get. I guess it starts at $99 and goes all the way up to $1,500. That's a wide gap. Also saw a photo floating around lately of the original iPhone being introduced and that $199 price tag on it. Actually, I don't even think it was the original iPhone because the original one you couldn't get subsidized. I guess it would probably be the iPhone 3G and the $199 price tag on it. And that was a subsidized price. I believe the device was still $700, but yeah, phones have definitely gone up in price over time. Like it's not something that's coming down. So that's kind of unfortunate. It's also unfortunate that, the Apple's base phone for you to get into is the iPhone 7 now, and the iPhone 7 is a 3-year-old phone. Like that's kind of disappointing. I would like to see them bring their price point down a little bit. I get it. They want to jam all the cool new tech and stuff in there, and that's what makes things a little more expensive, but it would be nice to see something a little cheaper for everybody. What do you guys think of the colors on the iPhone XR? Like the yellow looks pretty interesting. I really like the blue. The red looks really nice. I think there's an orange one too that looks good. Do you think the iPhone Max could be a contender for the only computer user like the iPad could be? Probably. The iPhone Max, even just a standard iPhone, it could be your only computer, especially if you travel a lot. Like I could definitely see that happening. I can't talk too much about day jobs I've had and stuff like that, but my previous job, I would definitely say my main computer was my iPhone. I ran my email, my calendar, all my appointments and everything out of my iPhone. I wouldn't say like people like me are going to be, okay, iPhone's my only computer now, because I wouldn't want to edit a video on iPhone. LumaFusion is on the iPhone, but I wouldn't want to edit video on that. It would be just way too difficult. Any other questions you guys got about the iPhone 10 or the 10s? Seriously, these names, Apple. I really wanted. I'd love to be a fly on the wall for Apple's like marketing meetings and stuff where they come up with the names of their products, because I get what they're trying to do, but some of the names they're not very good. I get they're trying to be like as easy to grasp for people, just like, hey, I'm walking past this billboard. Well, this is the iPhone 10s Max. Like, okay, this is clearly the next one up. This is the next step. This is the next bigger, better phone. But at the end of the day, like, can't we just call them the iPhone? And then you walk in and be like, yeah, I want the new iPhone. Yeah, I want the new big iPhone. You know, I don't know. I've never been somebody that cares too much about branding. I've never really been somebody that needs to have, like, I need to show off the fact that I have the latest phone. I like getting the latest phone, but I like getting the latest phone with mostly because I like the tech and I like talking about it. I mean, I do that here. I do this on my podcast. So yeah, things like that. Yeah, I don't get it, but I'm not gonna, whatever. We'll move on from there. The new chip in the iPhone 10s looks really interesting. The A12 Bionic chip. Now this is just the straight A12 chip that goes in the phones, and then there will be an A12X chip that goes in the iPads. Now the A12 straight chip that we know about right now is a 6-core processor, which, dang, that's pretty cool. Now, 2 cores are dedicated to high performance, 4 cores are dedicated to low performance. Now, and that's to kind of like balance out battery life. And battery life is something they improved pretty well with the new iPhone. I mean, the iPhone 10s, I'm just going to say the iPhone Max for right now. The iPhone Max gets an hour and a half more battery life than the iPhone 10, which that's pretty cool because the iPhone 10 already got a lot of battery life. So I think what's interesting about the whole thing is that the chip itself is so much faster. Like, Apple keeps making these jumps, and they said they're the first company to make an industry, or the first industry company, whatever, to make a 7-nanometer chip. Now that means they shrunk it down to that size, and they fit I think they said over 1 trillion transistors in there. Is that what they said? I don't know. They throw around these bunch of numbers really quickly, and it's hard to keep up with, especially if you can't take notes. So with that said, that means stuff can get smaller. They can pack more into a device. So, like, I know everyone kind of rolls their eyes at, oh, we don't need things to get smaller. But when you make things smaller, you can pack more into the device because the device itself isn't really getting smaller, or it does get smaller and it weighs less, a little easier to manage, like what we're kind of expecting to see with the new iPad 12.9 inch. Like, the screen size will probably still say 12.9, but those big bezels around the side, those will probably shrink down, which is really good for somebody that has one because it's kind of unwieldy and kind of heavy and just kind of big. But these processors, whew, I'm so excited to get my hands on those in an iPad and start exporting some video files, because right now I can tell you that that's my biggest pain point, is I want video to be able to export faster. I'm looking into dedicated 4K cameras because I know right now, like, when I do video stuff like this, it kind of looks like crap. But I definitely am looking into like some 4K cameras and some stuff that'll actually like make the stuff look better. That's kind of all I have to say. If you guys have questions, jump in. I'll keep it open for a few more minutes. I'll answer any question you guys got. I think if I was to get an iPhone right now, I was going to get the gold one when we saw the leaked photos, because it looked a little more bronze brassy looking. But after seeing the pictures, and maybe the pictures aren't justifying it, maybe I need to see it in person. The gold doesn't look so good to me. I have the white iPhone 10 right now, and that one's fine, but I think I'd go back to the black one. I'd really like to get my hands on that blue iPhone 10R. And did you guys notice the R is a capital R, but it's in small case. So it's like half the size of the, yeah, I'm not going to type it like that. That's way too difficult to have to type it that way. I could probably just set up some text shortcut or something like that, but that's such a pain. Any other questions? Anything you guys got on your mind right now? Nothing? How's it been using your iPad as your main computer? Do you miss using a regular computer? So I've been using my iPad as my main computer since, let's see here. The iPad Pros came out in 2015, November 2015, October 2015, something like that. I don't know. Sounds like that. And I've basically been using it since the February after, so February 2016. So it's been over 2 years now. And honestly, I don't miss it. I talked recently on my podcast, A Slab of Glass. I got rid of my Mac Mini and my MacBook Pro. My Mac Mini was a media server and file server and things like that. My MacBook Pro was just sitting in a drawer. Like I didn't need it anymore. So I got rid of those. So my iPad is really my only and main computer now. And honestly, it feels good. It feels freeing. Like I don't feel limited by anything. I haven't really come across, the only thing I can't do that I wish I could do is I could have Xcode. That's the one thing I wish I could do. I was working on a task manager app for a little while, and I shelved that because I just had too many projects going on. I was feeling overwhelmed. So I shelved that, and I would like to kind of be able to pick that up every once in a while and just play around in Xcode and stuff. But for the most part, I feel great. I really love my iPad, and I'm looking forward to getting a new one. I'm ready for a new design. I mean, if you kind of look at it, the iPad itself is basically essentially had the same design language since its introduction. You know, bezels, big black bezels, or white if you get the white one. Home button, things like that. Like I'm ready for a fresh look for the iPad. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's about time. Let's see here. iOS 12 will be coming out on Monday. So I am going to link, I don't know if I can do it in this video or what, but I will talk about it. Shortcuts will be coming out with that. I'm very excited about Shortcuts. So Siri Shortcuts is the new workflow. I think this is going to be really cool and really exciting. I didn't get on the beta, so I haven't had a chance to look at it, do anything. That was actually my whole summer plan for when iOS 12 came out. I was going to come out with a whole bunch of Siri shortcut videos so people could, see how it worked and introduce them to everybody. But oh well, that didn't happen. So I'm going to start on those on Monday when I get my hands on the app. I think what I'm going to do is Monday evening, I'm going to put together a Siri Shortcuts walkthrough video of kind of like my first impressions of the app and stuff. I'm definitely a heavy workflow user, so I think that might be interesting. And then I'm going to just start making videos about making different kinds of shortcuts and stuff like that and how you can make your own shortcuts. So if you have shortcuts or stuff you'd like to do with shortcuts, feel free to tweet at me. It's at Chris_Lawley. That's LAWLEY. And I'll see if I can make those. I won't promise that I can make everything. I get tweets and stuff for people asking me stuff to make stuff, and some stuff just isn't possible in shortcuts, unfortunately. But hopefully I can make something if you guys do. So that should be coming out Monday. So I'm gonna make a walkthrough video, and then I'm just gonna start making a bunch of different shortcut videos. I'm also gonna try and link to Matthew Casanelli. I had him on. He was on A Slab of Glass, my podcast. He was one of the original team members at Workflow. He since left there, and yes, comment in the no new iPads. Yes, I'm very upset about that. Matthew Casanelli, he did he worked for the original Workflow team. He left Apple, and he's really been talking a lot about what you can do with Siri shortcuts. And he's talking about having kind of a walkthrough video out on Monday as well. So I will definitely be tweeting about that when it comes out, and then I'll probably link to it in some video as well. So be sure to follow me on Twitter or him on Twitter, or somehow it'll be found, I promise, because I'm really excited about that. Like, as somebody that uses Workflow, and when he talks about it, he's very interesting to listen to because he really knows his stuff. Any other questions? I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here unless you guys got anything. I'm really excited. The new phones are interesting. The new watch is interesting. I think the stuff will be cool, especially if you're upgrading. Not sure if I'm upgrading. If you guys want a review, if I get enough people wanting a review, I'll probably upgrade my iPhone. I don't think I'll upgrade my watch. I'm pretty happy with my Series 3 LTE version. So, all All right, guys. If you have any questions, hit me up on Twitter again at Chris. iPad's coming in November. I'm hoping October. I'm hoping we get an October event. Usually they don't hold an event in November, though they could hold the event in October and announce that they'll be released in November. Hopefully we get them in October and they say, hey, you can pre-order in that day, because that would be great. Worst case scenario, we get them in the spring, which would be a huge bummer. That's kind of it for me, guys. Unless you guys got anything else, thank you so much for watching. Got any questions? Find me. Thanks. Have a great day.